Hey everybody, welcome back. In this chemistry lesson, we're talking about polarity in molecules, specifically in covalent bonds. All covalent bonds are formed by the sharing of electrons, but the sharing is not always equal, and that's where this polarity issue comes in. Depending on the shape of the molecule, this can lead to molecules having one side that is slightly positive and a different side that is slightly negative. A molecule that demonstrates this quality of unequal electron distribution is called polar. So it's still a molecule, it's still a covalently bonded molecule, there's still sharing of electrons, but the sharing is not equal. So here's a few examples. The molecule on the left is a water molecule. Water is actually the most important polar molecule in the world. Notice that near the oxygen atom, we drew a special symbol called delta with a negative sign beside it. That indicates that the oxygen atom is slightly negative because the electrons just spend more time around that atom. The hydrogen atoms of the water molecule have a delta plus symbol beside them. This indicates that they are slightly positive. This polarity of the water molecule is what makes it so important and so useful. This is why water molecules tend to stick together instead of allowing even distribution of some substances. The same thing that we are observing in the water molecule is also true of the other atom that you see on the right. That's what we call hydrogen fluoride. The electrons, again, are shared in a covalent bond, but the sharing is not equal. The hydrogen atom has a delta plus, and the fluorine atom has a delta minus. This indicates, once again, that the electrons are being shared, but they're not being shared equally. The electrons spend a little more time around the fluorine atom and a little less time around the hydrogen atom. So here's an exercise for you. Try to explain what a polar molecule is in your own words. Pause the video and then I'll explain the correct explanation. Here's one way of explaining a polar molecule. A molecule that has unequal electron distribution. Water is an example of a polar molecule. So these are types of covalent bonds, but the electrons are not shared equally. Here's something else really interesting that you need to know. There's actually a few special molecules that have both a nonpolar side and a polar side. An example of this is soap. And this is why adding soap to oil and water allows the oil and water to mix together. Normally, that's not possible. You've probably seen this experiment when you put any kind of oil into water. If it is pure oil and pure water, they will not mix together. But we can change that by adding soap because it has both a nonpolar side and a polar side. The polar side of the soap molecule is attracted to the water because water is polar. But the nonpolar side of the soap molecule will mix more easily with the nonpolar fat molecules within the oil. So that's an overview of polarity in covalent bonding. Thanks for watching. As always, if you have any comments or questions, post those in the comment section below. Thanks.